Okay, so after you've logged into NETLAB, the first thing you have to do is you have to schedule some time. And generally you're going to want to do this, well in advance, but for this example right here, I'm just going to schedule something real quick so I can demonstrate. So the first thing you need to do is you need to look at the labs. Notice that these are the Introduction to Network labs, so that's the first textbook that we're working in. And if you scroll down, then you'll see the Routing and Switching Essential labs, and that's the next textbook that we'll be working in later in the course. Okay, so what you have to do is you just have to scroll down and find the lab that you're looking for. So let's see, maybe 2335. We're looking at configuring the switch management address. So if that's the lab that you're looking for is 2335, you would just click on that lab. Okay, and now you have to schedule the time and the pod. So it really doesn't matter. Just find one that's open. But for this instance right now, I want to schedule it for now. So I'm going to click here, and I'll end the time at 10 o'clock because I don't need it that long. You'll want to schedule based on the estimated amount of time to finish whatever lab it is you've got to work on. For the initial configuration, you'll either most of the time what you'll want to go with is no configs loaded. You'll want it clean because you'll need to start from scratch. And the other option there is restore configs from the last reservation. That's if you were in there previously. I'm going to do no configs loaded and OK. And I'm done making reservations. Okay. So now when my reservation time comes up, this Enter Lab button will be available to me, and since I did the reservation for right now, it's there. So I just click on Enter Lab, and then I just have to wait on the equipment to get ready. This is real lab equipment that we're working with here. NETLAB is just like a virtual interface to connect you to those devices, but you're configuring actual switches and routers, depending on the lab that you're completing. So again, we're just waiting for this to load. You can pull up the instructions for any given lab by going to the corresponding slide on the Cisco Academy. So that might be helpful. Otherwise, you'll have the materials that'll load here within NETLAB. Okay, so here we go. So in NETLAB, what it shows us, first of all, as you can see, we're looking at the topology. So in this exercise, all we have is a switch and a PC. And so you just read through the information here, and you can click on the Show Lab Content button. This is the same lab instructions that I mentioned previously that you can also get in the Cisco Academy. So what you can do is just kind of move this over to another screen or whatever, minimize it, but these are your lab instructions, so you need to follow these instructions step by step until you complete the lab. This tab here gives you the ability to control some different things, but of course in the topology here, all we need is a switch and a PC. So on the action here, we don't need to do anything with this status. Notice we have all these devices on. PCs are up. It looks like the routers and switches are booting. Okay, so here you can see up in the top left hand corner that everything is still initializing. Okay, and here's where you can load something that you've previously worked on and saved, and then here's where you can save your configurations. Okay, so again, we're waiting on the lab to get ready. It's initializing. Okay, so here we go. So what I did was I clicked on the switch, and so now I'm connected to the switch. Just waiting. The switch is booting up at this point. Okay, so our switch is now up. Okay. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do whatever configuration that we need to do on our switch. And once you're done with the switch, or while you're working on the switch, if you need to go to the PC, what you can do is just minimize your switch and click on the PC and click on keep, and then open up that one, and so now this gives you the actual PC, so you can go in and configure whatever you need to on the PC. So if you were going into configure adapter settings, you've got the ability to go here and do that. Okay, so that's all there is to it. You just click on the device that you need to configure, and just go ahead and complete the required configuration according to the lab instructions.